Hello, Daz Studio enthusiasts. This is Not From This World, and I want to welcome you back to my tutorial series. Now, recently I've been playing around again with the Layered Image Editor, or LIE, and I have to make a comic where I have the characters with body tattoos. So I thought I would revisit how we could make body tattoos, makeup, or edits to any texture using the Layered Image Editor. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create some body tattoos. Now, this isn't strictly for Milika, but I'm going to use Milika just because she's so darn cute to demonstrate how to do this. And so the Layered Image Editor is one of the coolest things that we can do, because what it does is it adds a layer to your textures of whatever you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some torso tattoos along Milika's side, and then I'm going to show you how you can save them so you have them in your content library and you can use them on any character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build these tattoos on Milika, but I'm going to use them for other characters in a comic that I'm making. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is I did a search for tribal tattoos because I don't want anything specific. I just want some random kind of tattoos that we can put on her side. So what I did is I chose this one and I just saved it, and I saved it in a folder that I can keep track of. It's on my D drive called Daz Textures. So I just saved it to that folder. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit those tribal tattoos so we can add them onto Milika. So I'm just going to go to that folder and I'm going to open up my saved tattoos simply with paint. We don't have to get too fancy here. And I'm going to choose one that I like. And so if we kind of zoom out, let's try this one. So I'm just going to select it, make sure I get the whole thing. Just hit Control Copy, and then I'm going to go to File, New, and we're just going to paste it in. I got to zoom out to readjust it so that we get the whole tattoo on there. And then I just have to erase the traces of the other tattoos that were copied with it. Okay, so once I have that, I'm just going to hit File, Save As. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And I'm going to save it in the same folder, and we're going to call it Tribal 1. Okay, so now I can X out or get out of my folders. We'll go back into Daz Studio, and I'm going to select Milika. Now, under Milika, I'm going to go to Surfaces, and I'm going to find Milika and drop down to Surfaces. And then I'm going to scroll down. Because I'm going to put this on the side of her torso, I'm going to select Torso and go to Base. If you want to put a tattoo anywhere else, like on her face, on her arms, you can just select those. But since we're doing the torso, that's what I selected. And I am going to go to Base Color. I'm going to go to Base Color, and you notice that the base color, the picture is Milika's default torso. So I'm going to select that and go to Browse. And then I'm just going to scroll down until I find her original torso. And I'm just going to right click and we're going to open it into GIMP. Now, once it's in GIMP, it's just going to be used as a template. We're not going to change anything on Milika's torso. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to add that tattoo picture as a layer in GIMP. So I'm going to go to File, Open as Layers, and then I have to find that folder that I saved my tattoo in, which is in the D drive under Daz LIE Textures. And then I named it Tribal 1, if you remember. So we're going to just double click on that and open it up. Okay, so here it is. Now, what we can do is we can manipulate this and make sure that your tribal layer is selected, but I can just move it. I can move it by hitting this little plus sign, the move tool. When you do that, just make sure that this first little box under move is selected, and then select move the active layer. Then I can grab it and see I can move it anywhere I want to on the picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it right here. And we can also change its size. If we hit Shift S, we can change its size. To do that, I'm just going to hide the Milica layer. And now we can adjust the size if we want to. So if I want this bigger, I can do that and then just hit scale. And you can see it scaled it back. And then we can select Milica's torso again and kind of adjust it the way that we want. If we want to move, we have to go back to the move little plus sign and then see I can move it anywhere I want. So I want to keep it kind of off of her boob, but all on her side. So I kind of like that location. So what I'm going to do, if this is where I like it, I'm just going to hit the Milica torso layer, right click and delete it. And then I'm going to just hit File, Export As, and we're going to name this whatever we want. And I'm going to just put it in that same folder. So I'm going to go back to my D drive and I'm going to hit Daz LIE Textures. It's really important that we remember where we're putting things, because if you don't, it's just, we're going to have a lot of confusion. And that's one of the problems I don't like about Daz Studio, is that you've got all these folders you got to keep track of. So create a folder that says like LIE Textures and keep your stuff in that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to overwrite the Tribal 1 layer, although I could, but I may want to use that Tribal 1 tattoo in a different location on her body. So we're going to name this Tribal 1 Left and export it. And what it's going to do is it's going to save in that folder. So now we can get out of Daz Studio. Now, the reason why we had to do that in GIMP is because we need to keep the tattoo in a precise location. And I'll show you that in a second. So under the Surface tab with Milica selected, go to Base, and then you'll see Base Color. This is where we're going to start using the LIE. So I'm going to click on her picture again, but I'm going to go to this Layered Image Editor tab, and we're going to open it up. So here's her torso, and I'm going to go to the plus sign, select Add Image Layer, and then I have to select that D folder, the LIE texture. So I'm going to select that. And then if I scroll down, you're going to notice I've got the Tribal 1 tattoo. And then I've got this other one saved that says left. It's on her left side. So I'm going to select that. And you can see now that it has pasted in to the LIE tab our tattoo. It's overtaken her torso, which is fine. That doesn't matter because we're going to fix that by going to Source Over and then hit Multiplicative, Blend, and that layers them one on top. Now, I like pretty much right where that is. What's really cool about this too is you can flip the tattoo. So see, I can flip it horizontal. We can put it back. I can flip it vertical. And we can kind of play with it that way. However, we're just going to leave it with the original, and I'm going to hit accept. Now you can see it's added the tattoo onto Milica. So yay, we're all happy because Milica has this tattoo. If I hit a NVIDIA iRay preview, we're going to see the big issue here. Now it did add to her texture, this tattoo, but the tattoo is not black. My tattoo that I selected, I didn't make it in paint as kind of a dark red. It should be black. The reason why it's not black is because you have to scroll down under base to translucency color and add your tattoo to the layered image editor on this picture as well. So we've opened it up. I'm just going to do the same thing. go to add image layer. And this is exactly why we had to go into GIMP and copy it, because you'll never match exactly the tattoo in the right position if you don't save it where you want it. So see, now I can just select that again. It's added the tattoo in. I just go to source over, go to multiplicative blend, and now we have the tattoo. I just hit accept. And now you can see with the eye-ray, now she's got a black tattoo. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the eye-ray and I wanna show you how to save it. Now, the first thing that we're gonna do before we save is something important. I'm going to repose Milica here because we're gonna save this and then we'll have a icon that shows the tattoo. So we don't want her in this position. I want her in a better position that's showing the tattoo. So I'm just gonna find a nice pose where she's kind of got her arm up, maybe something like this. Go back to parameters, and then let's just see what this pose looks like. Oh yeah. Okay, so you can see, now we can see the tattoo. And I can zoom in, and we can really see that tattoo. It's pretty big. So I'm going to adjust the picture so that I like how it's showing all of the tattoo. And because we are making a picture icon, I'm probably going to need to get rid of her clothes. So hopefully this will be okay. But I'm going to leave it like that. That really shows the tattoo. Now, how we save it is really easy. Just make sure Milica is selected. Come up here to File, go to Save As, drop down to where it says Layered Image Preset, select that, and then it's going to give you a choice of where to put it in the files. Now, this is the trickiest part of everything probably, because what I want to do is I want to put it into Daz Studio. So I want to make sure that it is in a place where my original Daz Studio is. Now for me, it's kind of complicated because my Daz Studio is still on my C drive and I know it shouldn't be, but it is. So I have to go to C and then I'm going to hit Users, User, and then I've got to go down to OneDrive, Daz Studio, Studio, My Library, Presets, Materials, Layered Images. Oh my gosh, it is awful. I'm going to save this as Tribal 1 and hit Save. Now, when I hit Save, I'm going to get this tab that asks me what I want to save. I only want to save the torso. So after I select the torso, I'm just going to hit accept. And we just created a layered image editor layer on the skin. So I'm going to kind of zoom out. Got Milica back kind of in position here. And just to show you, let's open up a new character and see if we can add this tattoo to that character. All right, so I've got another character loaded up, and let's see if we can add that tattoo I just made on Milica on this girl. So I'm gonna select her in this scene. Her name's Christina, and I'm gonna go to my content area, and I'm gonna scroll up to the Daz Studio. I'm just going to refresh it just to make sure, but under Daz Studio formats, I'm going to go to my library. And then from my library, I go to Presets, Materials, and then Layered Images. And see, there is my tattoo. So I'm just going to select it, and boom, there it is on the new girl. So now I have this tattoo saved in Daz Studio. Now I can also move it into an easier place in my content library by right-clicking, going to Categorize, and then here it gives me a choice of folders. My Genesis 8 stuff's in People, and then my Genesis 8 Female, and then I'm going to select Anatomy, and then Skin. And I'm going to accept it there. So now if I go to that folder it should be in there. So if I go to categories, people, Daz 8 female, anatomy, skin, it's right there. I could make a folder that says tattoos and put it in there if I wanted to, but you kind of get the picture. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create a series of these body tattoos, some for her left side, some for her right, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. And then I'll be able to add these multiple tattoos onto any character. All right, let's pose her a little bit, and then I'll run a render, and we'll call this good. I hope this really helped you. I love the layered image editor. It's so cool, and it really has so much potential. So I hope that you found this entertaining and informative. All right, well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give me some comments. I'd really like to hear what you have to say.